Hi guys, how are you? I am Hussein Ahmed. I am mechanical engineer. And the trainer. I am trainer with STC company. I trainer with the three field or three sides in safety and in human development and management project. So I am happy to training with your for this team. I will start now the course Confined Space Entry. This course is very important because any field have a lot of confined space, different confined space. What is defined confined space? Defined confined space is the confined space is an area that are large enough to body light enter. There's one properties is large enough to body light enter and perform work, but it has a limited access. Maybe one access or one entry and one exit, and is not designed for the continuous occupancy due to danger accumulation of hazards. The difference between confined space and any room, such as a classroom or bedroom, it is designed for work, continue work, or stay or live. But confined space different. It is not designed for continuous occupancy because the high dangers and a lot of hazards. So confined space is not designed for the continuous occupancy due to dangers accumulation of hazards substance because of the restricted air circulation. Maybe speak Arabic English or but English. Anyone you need speak Arabic or but English? Okay, but English. If you want speak Arabic, maybe tell me or ask me in Arabic. The hazard encountered in a society with the confined space entry can be divided into three type or three categories. Maybe five categories or five. But on board three categories. Chemical, this is one on board, very important. Auto deficiency and explosive gas or any fluid and toxic atmosphere. And other risk may be physical, such as temperature extreme, noise or radio activity, and mechanical fling, such as fling objects. Biological such as infectious agent or insects. Also, ergonomic and indicate space, improper configuration, or insufficient lighting. Sufficient light. A classification of confined space. This table show the classification of confined space ratio to the risk or to the hazard. Parameter 3 or 4, oxygen deficiency or flammability for gas or fluid, and toxicity for toxic gas such as H2S or CO. I will talk about ratio for H2S and CO for the permissible ratio. Okay. Category I, if the O2 less than 16 and flammability 20 of the LFL limit of lower flammability limit. If you lower LFL greater than 20, and the toxicity, if the volume, big volume, I will show what's the volume or ratio for H2S and CO for work. In category I, no entry because the high level for hazard and stop work. No entry and stop work, you maybe control hazard. In category 2, if the oxygen deficiency, O2 deficiency 16 or greater, and flammability less than 19, and the toxicity is the also high for gas, you must enter repairment and accredence with the all program required. If the category for 3I, if the O2 deficiency 19.5 or greater, such as 20 or 21, 22, 23, the max 23. Also, the danger of the oxygen grade for 23. And if the flammability less than 10, LFL less than 10, and the toxicity less than BEL or TELF, the ratio of toxicity cause. Maybe work. It is permissible work. So now, if the confined space classification in category I and category 2I not working and must control hazard. If the classification of the confined space category 3I maybe work because all ratio permissible. Okay, continue. Anyone hear me? Any question, please? Okay, continue. Checklist for entry working in and extinct confined space. This list I will be more show for everyone, but now show the list. One assessment of the situation to entry permit. 3 pre-entry IR testing and condition monitoring, training required, and safety equipment and labeling. Preparation of the entry, withdrawal from surface, isolation, and ventilation and cleaning, emergency preparedness, and record keeping. Also, again, assessment of the situation, entry permit, pre-entry IR testing and condition monitoring, training required, safety equipment and labeling, preparation of the entry, withdrawal for surface, isolation, ventilation, and cleaning, emergency preparedness, and record keeping. Okay, now continue. Okay about this. Okay about this. Yes, again. Okay. Assessment. Yes, again. Okay about this. Okay, again. Assessment of the situation. This is checklist for entry working in confined space. Confined space. If you any question, please tell me in chat or talk with me. Okay. Entry permit, pre-entry IR testing and condition continue monitoring, training required, safety equipment and labeling, preparation of the entry, withdrawal from surface, isolation, ventilation and cleaning, emergency preparedness, record keeping. Assessment. Now, the one of last, the first of last, it is assessment. Now show what mean the assessment. The assessment of the situation should be done according to the following factor. What is the factor? The one is the entry really necessary, and the natural of the job need to be carried out. Method of the work and the hazard exit in the confined space, and hazard from the neighborhood and step necessary to make the job safe as much as possible. Okay. The other for last entry permit. Okay. The entry permit is the right authorized from specifying the location and the type of the work, the location and type of the work to be done, and certify that all hazard that may be associated is evaluated and a property control were implemented to minimize the hazard. Again, the entry permit is a right authorization from specifying the location and the type of the work to be done and certify that all hazard such as shown in the table, the photo deficiency, flammability, toxicity, or other hazard may be mechanical, biological, ergonomic, chemical, physical, any hazard. Okay, all this hazard may be written in permit, and work to be done and certify that all hazard that may be associated is evaluate and a property control. All hazard and all control for this hazard. This also right in entry permit. Okay, and a property control were implemented to minimize the hazard, because all control hazard must be minimized the hazard. Okay, the entry permit should not approved by the safety authority unless each element of the previously mentioned entry checklist is verified. So now show what's mean the anti-repairment. Hello. Hello, sir.
Hello, hello.
Okay, welcome.
Yes. Thank you, Abibi.
Thank you. Continue.
Continue, please continue.
Okay, if any question, maybe tell me.
Okay, okay, please continue.
Okay. Also about anti-repairment, the anti-repairment also should specify the following. The supervisor and the safety personnel who is in charge of the process. The supervisor and the safety personnel who is the charge of the process. The operation and also the operation control and the safety required needed to make the job inside the confined space as safe as possible, such as the oxygen ratio or oxygen concentration and gas flammability and toxicity for gas. Okay. Other the emergency preparedness at the workplace, including the contact noise and person inside of the emergency. Okay, again, the anti-repairment also should specify the following. The supervisor and the safety personnel, who is the charge of the process, and the operation control and the safety required to need to make the job inside the confined space as safe as possible. The emergency preparedness at the workplace, including the contact now and person in case of the emergency. Okay, now show the environment and the assessment from the checklist. Now show the pre-entry air testing and continue monitoring. What does it mean? Pre-entry air testing and condition monitoring. What is the testing and condition continue monitoring? طيب, the equipment used the testing should be collaborate according to the manufacturer instruction. The equipment used the testing should be calibrate according to the manufacturer instruction. The birthing approach should be worn before the entry for testing. The readings should be made after 3 seconds or until the reading is stable. Sorry. Okay. In the third point, the reading should be made after 3 seconds, or until the reading is stable. To read the concentration of the oxygen or the flammability of gas and other risk. The atmosphere should be tested every 4 feet in the direction of the travel inside the confined space. The atmosphere should be testing every 4 feet in the direction of the travel. I will show that in video how to atmosphere or how to reading the oxygen and the another gas. If solid present, it should be stripped before the testing. The confined space atmosphere should be tested on continuously basis. Maybe in all 30 minutes, maybe testing, such as after 30-minute testing, and continue test the gas or the hazard. If the monitoring of any confined space show category I and 2I, or the entry should be immediately banned, such as shown in the table. Back to table, this table, category I and category 2I must not enter to confined space, should immediately banned. Okay, continue. Pre-entry consideration. طيب. Okay. The first of this pre-entry consideration, this 4-4 checklist entry. The one assessment to entry permit, a pre-entry IR testing. Now preparation of the entry. Okay, Let me check. Now also in the 3 point of the checklist. Okay. Pre-job safety meeting, and the workforce should be well trained and informed of all hazard associated to the job. Before any work to be done, the area around the space should be bracketed and well trained personnel and well trained personnel with a fire extinguisher or fire hose should be readily available. Extinguisher and fire hose. Again, before any work to be done, the area around the space should be bracketed and a well-trained personnel with a fire extinguisher or fire hose should be readily available. CO2 extinguisher should be avoided to prevent the static electricity. Okay, CO2 used for the type of C in the description of firefighting. In the last day, show what's the type of fire, A or B or C. C for the electric device. You must use the CO2 extinguisher should be avoided to prevent static electricity. Anyone tell me maybe use the another extinguisher such as water or the powder for fire, electric fire? Or electric device? Okay, not anyone? Continue. Don't use petrol, diesel engine, and inside the space. Maybe now finish at 11 o'clock. After that, maybe back for another courses for rigging and slinging at 1 o'clock. After finish, I think finish at 11 o'clock. After that, take rest, maybe for 1.5 hours or 2 hours. After that, start with another courses for rigging and sling. Okay, continue. Don't use petrol, diesel engine inside the space. Use them instead outside in and will ventilate area. All people inside the confined space should be wear rescue harness and lifeline. all people inside the confined space should wear a rescue harness and lifeline. Straps of the slurry may sludge and slurry may produce extra fiber, so clear the deep side deposits before entry. Okay. Disturbance of the sludge and slurry may be product extra fiber, so clear the deposits before entry. Never attempt to clear the fumes and fiber with a pure auto, because maybe risk fire. Okay. Continue. Also in the 3 point from the list of entry checklist, re-entry consideration. The internals should be enough to allow all the internal nets climbing in and exiting easily, wearing all necessary equipment. The internals should be enough to allow all the internets climbing in and exiting easily, wearing all necessary equipment. Also, someone should be outside the space to keep watch and communicate with each one. This is very important for any work in confined space. Someone should be outside the entry axis or any axis in confined space, entry or out or exiting axis, but should be one person in outside for the confined space. So again, someone should be outside the space or to keep watch and communication with each one. Communication may be signature, maybe maybe in the voice, maybe in the room, any type way to communication with each one inside the confined space. Okay, all electrical equipment, artificial light, extension, cord switch used should be explosion proof. All electric equipment, artificial light, extension, cord switch used should be in explosion proof to prevent the fire risk. Internal combustion engine, composition engine, motor should be keep a pond away from the tank until the space is vapor free. Internal combustion engine motor should be kept, such as motor should be kept a pond away from the tank until the space is vapor free. Ventilation equipment compressor pump should meet the requirement of the area classification and also should be electrically bound to the tank. If the com, vacuum truck, if the vacuum truck is used during the cleaning process, it should keep a minimum 50 feet up on, and the discharge section hose should be electrically bounded to the tank. If the vacuum truck is used during the cleaning process, it should be keep a minimum 50 feet upwind, and the discharge section hose should be electrically bounded to the tank. Okay. The 4-4 checklist, I think 4 or 5. Isolation. Isolation is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The 9 points for the checklist. Okay. Isolation of the tank. The safest way to isolate the tank and minimize the risk that may generated due to the entering of the hydrocarbon vapors and liquid is the physical disconnection of the tank from each other item. The safest way to isolate the tank and minimize the risk that may generated due to the interning of the hydrocarbon vapor and liquid is the physical disconnection of the tank from each other item. Okay, and after removing of the residual product from the tank, pumps and other piping connected to the tank should be planted off as close as possibly from the tank. Again, after removing of the residual products from the tank, pumps and other piping connection, Sorry, sir. I think the mute for my account. So again about the 1 point, and after show a video. I think talk about the 1 point, after that mute or for my account. So now again show the point. Okay, let me show screen of the material. Okay, sorry about that. Resolution of the tank. I think this. Okay, no problem about this. Okay, maybe again. The safest way to resolve the tank and minimize the risk that may generated due to the entering of the hydrocarbon fiber. Liquid is physical disconnect of the tank from the each other item. Vast after removing of the residual product from the tank, foam and other piping connected to the tank should be blended off as close as possibly from the tank. Okay, 3, before the plant are installed, all line between the tank and the location of the plant should be drained and flushed. Foam chamber should be open to ensure the intact of the cells and there are no products are trapped in the piping. The drain of the riser to the foam chamber should be left open. Again, in the safe side way to isolate the tank and minimize the risk that may generated due to the entering of the hydrocarbon fiber and liquid and the physical disconnection of the tank from each other item. After removing of the residual product from the tank, foam and other piping connect to the tank should blend it off as close as possibly from the tank. Before the plants are installed, all line between the tank and the location of the plant should be drained and flushed. Foam chamber should be open to ensure that intact of seals and the other now products are trapped in the pipe. The drain of the risers to the foam chamber should be left open. Okay. Now, fiber free, the selection of the ventilation method depend of the manufacturer. What is the factor? 3 factor for the ventilation method. To select of the ventilation. One, the type of the tanks, such as fixed coin roof or floating roof, and the type of the product where last contained crude oil or gasoline or LPG, and the tank location and the size of the tank. So now 3 factor for the select of the ventilation method. 1, the size and location of the tank, the type of the products were last contained, credit oil, gasoline, LPG, and the type of the tank, fixed coin roof or floating roof. Okay. And there are several methods of ventilation. I think the mechanical ventilation is very important inside and a lot of used inside oil and gas and field. Uh, Also, steam ventilation, I think, use the pressure of the steam to remove another gas. And natural ventilation use the air for change the air inside confined space. Okay, now maybe show video and show the list of uh, checklist entry. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, from speaking. Okay, now. Okay, testing the gas and flammable gas and oxygen. Okay, this gas detector, I think multi-gas test for the oxygen and the ppm for the gases and flammability for the gas. So continue to see. Okay, now the red ppm in ppm the benzene. Okay, that one of toxic gas. So this is a high concentration toxins. So must control in this risk. Oh, sure. What is the control used for the risk? Okay, this one way of ventilation. This is mechanical ventilation. Okay. This one of mobile gas detector used for testing gas. This connection between all this device to transfer the alarm for the out device and the outside device. Okay, this checklist, yeah, checklist for the confined space. Any company have checklist different another company.
Have. Mm.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir. No problem. I was rig one. Rig is
Okay.
75001 is inside. He will show ours all employee. No problem.
Okay.
I will
Okay.
record
Okay.
it. Okay.
Okay. No problem. Okay. Now show video. After that, 5 minutes to finish these courses. After that, start another course in 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock, right?
Okay, in 1 o'clock, start the courses for rigging and slinging.
Oh, sir, is this? I think you can start it at 2 o'clock or 2:30 at the improve the speed of the training. Because as you know, before our employee, they all have the similar training before, so they understand quickly. No problem. Understand?
Oh, I think no, because I have training in this time. Maybe record or not good for record courses to show.
Is this? I think is the make you speak as clear and the improves the speed. For example, is 1 cousin 2 hours. You can finish 1 hour, no problem. Our employees have the too many times about this training. Understand?
Okay.
No problem.
Okay, no problem. I will finish. I need 5 minutes to finish these courses. After that, maybe start at 11 o'clock or 11 and half o'clock, or this lunch break for your team.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. No problem. You guys arrange your time. It's just we need to finish this training. Within short time. Short time is okay. Everything okay quickly. Arrange your time is free time. No problem.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Continue now.
Okay, okay, sir.
Yeah.
Like this.
Okay. Now complete about the checklist of entry confined. I will talk about of equipment required during confined space entry. The one or first the personal protective equipment PPE and breathing apparatus and measurement device such as shown in this video, brackets and sick harness with the lifeline and means of the communication. This is a symbol of about equipment required during the confined space and personal protective equipment PPE and breathing apparatus and measurement device brackets and sinks harness with the lifeline means of the communication, such as rope or device or walkie-talkie or use voice to connection between the person out watch outside and the person inside. Okay. Emergency preparedness. Emergency procedure include the phone number for medical service. The one emergency procedure include the phone number for the medical service and firefighting station should be carefully positioned within the confined space area. Emergency procedure include the phone number for the medical service and firefighting station should be carefully deposited with the confined space area. Rescue procedure should be specialized review for each entry. And also rescue personnel should be trained to use the equipment necessary during the emergency. Okay. The medical depart and the other emergency station should be notified before the start of the entry. The medical depart and the other emergency station should be notified before the start of the entry. The emergency access to the confined space should be specified for the emergency maneuvering. Okay. This picture show what's the correct work in the confined space. This person work inside confined space. This work stand by to watch, and connection between the person inside the confined space and work equipment, supplier air, breathing apparatus, and supplier air cylinder outside the confined space, and emergency CBA, and lifeline to safety harness. Okay, this all equipment and emergency for work inside confined space. I think all list of the confined space. Okay, now to show video and finish this course. In 1 minute, please. This one of the risk in confined space. Okay.
Okay, no problem.
There's also mechanical ventilation to use this confined space. If you show the ratio of consolation tox gas, it's high, but I don't why go to start work. Okay. Okay. Thank you, guys. If any question, please, can you ask? If not, maybe close courses. Okay, sir. Now finish these courses. We'll back at 1 o'clock.